Let us congratulate Caleb Thorne on winning Best Actor. Caleb ascended to the stage amidst a chorus of admiring gazes. The stage lights converged on him, a brilliant halo against the velvet darkness of the theater. His black tuxedo was tailored to perfection, accentuating a physique honed by discipline. When the golden statuette was placed in his hands, an undeniable joy illuminated his features. A new king of the silver screen, and deservingly so. The internet erupted with praise from Caleb's devoted fans. Then the camera swiveled to Ethan Hayes. He made no effort to manage his expression, entirely unconcerned with the millions watching. A deep scowl was etched onto his face. His mouth turned down in a sharp line of displeasure. The award ceremony was being broadcast live across every major network and streaming platform, so his undisguised reaction was witnessed by all. Online forums immediately lit up. Laughter and commentary flooded the live chats about Ethan's thunderous expression. Many noted that while a sour look on another star would be off-putting, on Ethan it seemed almost endearing, like a brother watching his best friend succeed without him. Some viewers joked they were worried a fight would break out backstage. Ethan's eye twitched as he watched the scrolling comments on the large monitor. It was often said that fans mirrored their idols. Typically, if two stars were rivals, their fan bases would be at war. Yet, his and Caleb's followers were a strange anomaly in the entertainment world, often shipping them more than they fought. He and Caleb had been adversaries since childhood. More accurately, it was a war Ethan had unilaterally declared. They grew up in the same exclusive, gated community in Greenwich, their families connected by generations of friendship. Ethan had been a whirlwind of untamed energy as a child, a stark contrast to Caleb, who, despite being only a year older, was the epitome of the calm, perfect son. Ethan's mother was fond of reminding him of this disparity, often telling him to take a page from Caleb's book and learn something from him. The constant comparisons fueled his already competitive nature. One afternoon, a surge of frustration and bruised pride sent him storming from his house. He ran across the manicured lawns separating their estates, bursting into the Thorne residence. The staff, long accustomed to his presence, didn't stop him. He found 7-year-old Caleb in his study and, with tears of indignation streaking his face, pointed a trembling finger at him. He vowed that one day he would be better than him, challenging Caleb to a competition. He had expected a fiery response, a rival ready for battle. Instead, Caleb simply closed his book and stood. Even then, Caleb was half a head taller, his gaze serious and unervingly perceptive. He had asked quietly if Ethan was sure about this. The intensity in Caleb's eyes, like a predator patiently observing its prey, was momentarily intimidating, but Ethan had already thrown down the gauntlet. He confirmed his challenge, asking if Caleb was scared. A slow smile spread across Caleb's face. He agreed, adding that Ethan had better not be the one to cry later. From that day forward, they competed in everything: academics, sports, social etiquette. Yet, no matter how hard Ethan tried, he always fell just short. The most infuriating instance was the SATs, where he scored a single point below Caleb, denying him even the satisfaction of a tie. It was a source of immense frustration. During his junior year of college, a talent scout discovered Ethan, and he entered the entertainment industry. He figured that, as adults, success would be the ultimate measure of victory. Besides, he had spent his entire life in Caleb's orbit and yearned for a path of his own. To his shock, not long after he started, Caleb joined the industry as well. Ethan remembered seeing him at an audition, effortlessly charming and surrounded by aspiring actresses, and his jaw had dropped. Caleb had spotted him across the room, a complex, knowing smile playing on his lips, as if to say that only a contest on the same field truly counted. That look reignited Ethan's childhood fire. He swore to himself that, in this new arena, he would not lose. Now, watching Caleb on stage, graciously delivering his acceptance speech, a wave of disappointment washed over Ethan. They had both tacitly agreed that the Best Actor award would be the finish line for their long-standing rivalry. Both had been nominated for powerful performances. When Caleb's name appeared on the screen, Ethan understood that he was, once again, just shy of the mark. He had won for Best Supporting Actor, a significant honor, but not the one that mattered. He forced a smile as he walked to the stage, seeing Caleb applauding him with a calm, composed dignity that only made Ethan feel smaller. He hadn't just lost the award, he had lost in grace as well. After a brief, rushed acceptance speech, he hurried off stage, told his agent he felt unwell, and made a swift exit. He didn't see the flurry of new comments questioning his abrupt departure or the fans urging Caleb to check on him. He slipped into the back of his waiting Escalade, and as soon as the privacy partition rose, the tears he'd held back finally traced hot paths down his cheeks, plopping onto the statuette in his lap. The familiar feeling of inadequacy swelled in his chest. He pulled out his phone and opened his most frequented chat. He typed a message asking if the person was there. He confessed that he was feeling low. The reply came quickly. The person, who he knew as Alex, assured him that he had watched the whole ceremony and told him not to be upset. Ethan could no longer contain his emotions. He sent a series of tearful voice messages, his voice cracking as he admitted he was tired of it all. He had worked so hard, yet he could never win. He thought this new career would be different, but he had lost again. He wondered aloud if he should just give up, if he should just stop competing with Caleb altogether. There was a pause on the other end, the typing indicator flickering for a while. Then, a series of messages appeared. Alex reminded him that he was brilliant, suggesting Caleb's win was just a stroke of luck this time. He urged Ethan not to give up, to defeat him with true talent. Alex pointed out that quitting now would be admitting final defeat. He assured Ethan that his fans, including Alex himself, were always behind him. He knew the real Ethan wouldn't surrender so easily. A warmth spread through Ethan's chest as he read the words, his turbulent emotions slowly settling. He thanked Alex, who replied that he would always be his staunchest supporter. Feeling better, Ethan decided a strawberry cheesecake would be a fitting reward for his efforts. To hell with Caleb Thorne. Alex replied instantly with an enthusiastic endorsement for the largest slice possible. Ethan locked his phone, wiped his eyes, and leaned back against the leather seat, his breathing evening out. Alex was a fan, living overseas. He was also the president of Ethan's official fan club and, in fact, his very first supporter. Ethan had been a bit surprised to learn Alex was a man, as most of his fans were young women. He had never met Alex, whose special work allegedly prevented him from traveling back to the States. He couldn't attend any events, which Ethan sometimes felt was a great shame. Running the fan club must have cost an immense amount of money, and Alex never even had the chance to see him in person. Touched by this devotion, Ethan had broken protocol and contacted Alex through his personal account, secretly exchanging contact information. It started with simple holiday greetings. But one time, after losing a role to Caleb, Ethan posted a single, melancholic selfie to a private social media account. Only Alex seemed to perceive the unhappiness behind the faint smile. Alex's words of comfort were so insightful, so personal. It felt as though he were right there beside him. Ethan found himself wanting to confide more. From that day on, their friendship deepened. Alex became his best friend, a confidant in a different country. He frequently sent thoughtful gifts, rare single-origin chocolates Ethan loved, or a designer jacket he thought would suit him. Ethan, of course, reciprocated. Over time, an unspoken intimacy grew between them, a subtle warmth that Ethan sometimes wondered if he was merely imagining. Back at his penthouse, Ethan placed his award on a shelf and took a long shower, letting the day's tension wash away. He climbed into bed and opened his social media apps. As expected, the awards ceremony dominated every trending topic. Caleb Thorne Best Actor. Ethan Hayes Best Supporting Actor. Ethan Hayes loses composure. Those were normal. But another headline caught his eye: Caleb Thorne's mysterious text reply. His curiosity piqued, he clicked on it. The post contained a short video of Caleb sitting in the audience, typing on his phone. Initially, his expression was one of deep concern. Then, after reading a reply, a visible wave of relief washed over him before he put the phone away. Fans were speculating wildly. Ethan dismissed it. The man was allowed to have friends. Feeling exhausted, he soon drifted off to sleep. The next morning, sunlight streamed through his floor-to-ceiling windows. He stretched and went through his morning routine. As he headed downstairs, the enticing aroma of pancakes and coffee wafted from the kitchen. He didn't even have to guess. It was Caleb. He leaned against the kitchen doorway, watching the figure moving with practiced ease. Well, if it isn't the great Caleb Thorne. Shouldn't you be celebrating your big win instead of making breakfast in my kitchen? Caleb didn't answer immediately, instead sliding 2 perfectly golden pancakes onto a plate and placing it on the dining table. Your mother called mine. She was worried you'd be too upset, so she asked me to come over and check on you. He then retrieved a small strawberry cheesecake from the fridge and set a slice in front of Ethan. Ethan's eyes lit up, but the sight of Caleb quickly tempered his enthusiasm. Don't get too comfortable. You won't be on top for long. I won't lose next time. Caleb smiled, placing a fork beside the plate. I've been hearing that since we were 10. Don't you have any new lines? You. Ethan bristled, but Caleb ignored his indignation, calmly eating his own breakfast. That smug, victorious look always grated on Ethan's nerves. Are you going to eat that cheesecake? If not, I'm taking it. Eat it. Don't you dare touch it. Caleb made a gesture as if to take the plate, and Ethan quickly grabbed it, stuffing a large bite into his mouth. The sweet cream and fresh strawberries were a balm to his soul. It was true. Sweets really did improve one's mood. The fact that Caleb had brought it for him chipped away at his anger, just a little. How did you know I wanted strawberry cheesecake? Are you spying on me? Caleb paused his meal and looked up at him, a hint of exasperation in his eyes. Ethan, when we were kids, every time you lost to me, you'd run home crying and demand strawberry anything from your mom. I'm not an idiot. I figured out a long time ago that it's your go-to comfort food when your pride is wounded. Ethan's mouth twitched, and he shot him a glare. He muttered about who had a wounded pride. It was true that it used to be his habit, but since entering the industry and having to watch his diet for roles, he had mostly given it up, no matter how upset he was. Lost in his annoyance, he didn't stop to question why Caleb would have brought him a cheesecake in the first place. After they finished eating, Ethan promptly kicked Caleb out. It was a rare day off, and he had no desire to spend it with his rival. He lived in a high-end condominium complex in Century City, a popular choice for celebrities due to its excellent security and privacy. His mother, however, had never been comfortable with him living alone, despite him being a self-sufficient adult. His lack of culinary skills was, admittedly, a valid concern. During a visit with Caleb's mother, she had voiced these worries. Mrs. Thorne, without a second thought, had arranged for Caleb to move into the penthouse adjacent to Ethan's. The official reason was so they could look out for each other. In their parents' eyes, they were still the best of friends who spurred each other on. This led to a morning when Ethan walked into his kitchen to find Caleb there, nearly making him jump out of his skin. He had accused him of breaking and entering, only for Caleb to calmly dangle a key to Ethan's apartment, a gift from Ethan's own mother. Ethan had tried to snatch it, but Caleb was too quick, resulting in Ethan tumbling clumsily to the floor. Caleb had ignored his protests to get out and simply placed a perfectly made breakfast sandwich in front of him. His stomach had betrayed him, and he had eaten it. Cooking was the one area where Ethan had to admit total defeat. He had once tried to replicate a batch of cupcakes Caleb had made and nearly burned down the kitchen. After that, his mother forbade him from using the stove. Over time, he had grown used to Caleb's presence. Whenever they were both home, they ate together. Ethan saw it as a task assigned by his mother, nothing more. He made sure to bring back gifts for Caleb from his overseas trips, purely as a thank you. After a short break following the awards, it was time to get back to work. His agent, Rebecca, called with an offer for a reality show. She sent over the file for a program called Paradise Found. It was a popular show where 5 celebrities lived in a villa on a remote island for 5 days, completing challenges to earn their food and supplies. It sounded interesting. He scrolled to the cast list. He recognized most of the names, but then his eyes landed on Caleb Thorne. It was like the man was his shadow. His first instinct was to refuse. But then he remembered Alex's encouraging words. If he ran away just at the sight of Caleb's name, how could he ever face him again? He told Rebecca he would do it. After hanging up, he immediately messaged Alex about the show. The reply was almost instantaneous. Alex was thrilled, saying he could watch it from overseas and would be glued to his screen. Ethan then made a spontaneous offer. He explained that on the final day, each guest could invite a friend to the island, and he wanted to invite Alex, offering to cover all travel expenses. He was prepared for a refusal, as Alex had always declined his previous invitations to meet. To his utter surprise, Alex replied with a simple, "Okay." Ethan was so happy he rolled around on his bed, clutching his phone. Alex politely declined the offer to pay for his travel, simply stating he looked forward to meeting. The day of departure arrived. He and Caleb left their building at the same time, walking out to a waiting camera crew. The show was broadcast live and the chat rooms were already buzzing. Fans were shocked to see them emerge together, speculating that they lived together. The director, also surprised, asked if they were roommates. Ethan immediately took a step away from Caleb. Before he could concoct a story about living far apart, Caleb smoothly stepped closer to him. "We're next-door neighbors," he said. The crew members started whispering and smiling knowingly. The fans online went wild. On the shuttle van, Ethan deliberately chose a seat by the window in the back, hoping Caleb would take the hint. But Caleb sat down in the seat right next to him. When Ethan asked what he was doing, Caleb simply stated that he wanted to sit there and there were no assigned seats. Ethan seethed silently. When he asked the director if he could move, the director, clearly enjoying the drama, told him that once a seat was chosen, it couldn't be changed. Caleb physically pulled a still fuming Ethan back into his seat and told him to sit tight. The fan commentary exploded with memes about a domineering CEO and his tsundere lover. After picking up the other 3 guests, a pop singer named Jenna, a rising starlet named Mia, and a veteran actor named Marcus, they took a boat to the island villa. Rooms were assigned by lottery. Ethan and Caleb ended up in the 2 rooms on the first floor. As they moved their luggage, Caleb remarked with a smile how they always seemed to end up living so close. Ethan grumbled that he wished Caleb were on another continent, missing the flicker of hurt that crossed Caleb's eyes. Exhausted from the travel, Ethan sent a quick message to Alex to say he'd arrived safely, then fell asleep. He was woken by a soft voice. "Ethan, time to wake up." He mumbled for the person to go away, that he called him too early every morning. He tried to roll over and suddenly realized something was wrong. His eyes flew open. Caleb was leaning over him, his face inches away, a faint blush on the tips of his ears. Ethan yelped and pulled the covers over his head, demanding to know what he was doing. Caleb moved off him as Ethan sat up, blinking at the room full of crew members. Caleb held up a task card. "My mission was to wake you up. You didn't have to climb on top of me to do it." Ethan protested. Caleb laughed. "You're notoriously difficult to wake up." Drastic measures were required. The live chat went into a frenzy. Fans latched onto Ethan's sleepy complaint about Caleb waking him up every morning, taking it as confirmation of a deeper relationship. After breakfast, the day's main task was announced. They would split into 3 teams. One person would search for a clue near the villa, one team would forage for vegetables in the forest, and the last team would search for seafood at the beach. Unsurprisingly, Ethan and Caleb were paired together for the forest expian. The forest was dense and untamed, the ground slick with moss and tangled with roots. Several times, Ethan nearly slipped while climbing over fallen logs, only to be saved by Caleb's steadying hand. "Thanks," he muttered. Caleb brushed a leaf from Ethan's hair, but he didn't let go of his hand. He explained that the ground was treacherous, and holding hands would prevent them from falling. Ethan looked at their intertwined fingers, feeling an unfamiliar heat rise in his chest. It had been a long time since they had any physical contact this close. The audience, of course, was ecstatic. Suddenly, Ethan spotted a bag of lettuce hanging from a branch. "Ha! Found one," he crowed at Caleb. "My eyes are sharper than yours." Without waiting for a reply, he lunged toward it, completely ignoring the dense undergrowth obscuring the ground. "Ethan, watch out." Caleb's came a second too late. Ethan felt himself enveloped in a strong embrace as the ground gave way beneath him. They fell. There was a loud thud, but Ethan felt surprisingly little pain. When he opened his eyes, he was shielded by Caleb's body. He scrambled off him. "Caleb, are you okay?" Caleb groaned, his eyes fluttering open. His first concern was for Ethan, asking if he was hurt. Ethan shook his head, then noticed the crimson stains spreading on Caleb's sleeve. Blood was dripping from his arm. Panicked, Ethan searched for their walkie-talkie, but it was gone, likely lost in his reckless dash. The camera had probably been dropped when Caleb dove to protect him. They had fallen into a deep pit, maybe 10 feet down, an old, concealed hunting trap the crew must have missed. Caleb had taken the full impact of the fall to protect him. A strange desire to cry pricked at Ethan's eyes. He forced himself to stay calm. The first priority was the bleeding. The cut was long, though not terribly deep. He tore a strip of fabric from his undershirt and tightly bandaged Caleb's arm. The bottom of the pit was narrow, forcing them to lean against each other. As dusk began to settle, the island air grew cold. Ethan felt Caleb's forehead and realized he was burning up. A wave of panic hit him. "Caleb? Caleb!" he called out, gently shaking him. He took off his own jacket and draped it over Caleb, who had always been the one looking after him. Now, Caleb was hurt because of his own carelessness. Caleb's forehead was scorching hot. He stirred, his usually sharp and composed eyes now clouded and vulnerable. "Am I dreaming?" Ethan froze, his hand still on Caleb's forehead. Only Alex ever called him that. As he was trying to process this, Caleb leaned closer, his hot breath ghosting across Ethan's cheek. The small space offered no room to retreat. Caleb, delirious with fever, raised his uninjured hand and traced the line of Ethan's jaw. Ethan had never really stopped to consider it before, but his lifelong rival had grown into a devastatingly handsome man. The proximity, the unexpected tenderness of the touch, made his own face feel hot. He could hear his heart hammering against his ribs. Caleb moved closer still, his lips almost touching Ethan's. He whispered hoarsely, "Don't leave me." Then his eyes closed, and his head slumped onto Ethan's shoulder. Caleb, wake up. You can't die." Ethan cried out, afraid to shake him too hard for fear of worsening his injuries. Tears streamed down his face. In that moment, a terrifying realization dawned on him. He couldn't imagine his life without Caleb in it. Suddenly, he heard voices calling their names from above. "We're here. Director. Down here." Caleb was carefully lifted out on a stretcher. As Ethan walked back to the villa with the rescue crew, a staff member explained that they hadn't been able to reach them on the walkie-talkie. It was the fans, watching the dropped camera's static feed and frantically commenting in the live chat that something was wrong, that alerted the production team to the emergency. Ethan stopped and bowed deeply toward the rescue crew's camera. He offered his sincere thanks to the viewers, admitting he didn't know what would have happened without them. Back at the villa, the on-set doctor tended to Caleb's injuries. Ethan insisted on being the one to apply antiseptic to the various scrapes. Caleb's fever was still high, but it had subsided slightly. The director tried to persuade Ethan to get some rest, but he refused to leave Caleb's side. Eventually, they gave up, leaving him to sit by the bed. Watching the man who had been his rival for so long lie there, injured because of him, stirred a complex mix of guilt, worry, and something else, something deeper that he couldn't yet name. He took Caleb's hand and, resting his head on the edge of the bed, finally succumbed to exhaustion. When he woke up, he was lying in the bed, and Caleb was sitting beside him, smiling. "You're awake?" For a moment, Ethan was lost in the sight of him. Realizing this, he blushed and looked away. He asked if Caleb's fever was gone. Caleb touched his own forehead theatrically and confirmed he was better. It was already mid-morning. The crew had decided to halt filming for the day to do a thorough safety check of the island. Caleb suddenly leaned in close. "You know," he said, gesturing to his bandaged arm with a mock plaintive look, "I got this saving you. Don't you think you should take some responsibility?" Ethan blinked, unsure how to respond. Caleb continued in a soft, teasing tone, "Oh, so you're not willing? After all I've done?" Ethan couldn't help but twitch a smile. The way Caleb said it made him sound like a heartless cad. He sighed, then playfully pinched Caleb's cheek. "Fine. I'll take care of you until you're better." Caleb's smile widened in triumph. The next few days became an unexpected highlight of the show, with Ethan doting on a demanding Caleb. The audience loved the dynamic. Ethan realized Caleb was perfectly capable of doing things himself. He would wash vegetables or tidy up when Ethan was out on tasks, but the moment Ethan returned, Caleb would become completely helpless, asking for grapes or his phone. The final day of filming was fast approaching. Ethan remembered he needed to ask Alex about his flight. Just as he took out his phone, Jenna called from the kitchen, asking Caleb to check if the meat was cooked. Caleb put down his own phone on the table and went to help. Ethan sent his message to Alex, asking for his arrival details. Just as he hit send, Caleb's phone, still on the table, pinged with a notification. The timing was too perfect. A strange suspicion bloomed in his mind. With trembling fingers, he typed a single question mark and sent it. Caleb's phone immediately pinged again. His heart began to race. He glanced at the kitchen. Caleb was still occupied. Ethan quickly picked up Caleb's phone. The screen was locked, but the notification preview showed 2 new messages from a contact named My Treasure. The messages were the exact ones he had just sent to Alex. The world seemed to tilt on its axis. Shock, confusion, and a strange sort of panic swirled within him. He placed the phone back exactly as it was, his mind reeling. Why would Caleb do this? Was it another parental scheme, like making him his neighbor? Was Alex just an invention to comfort him when he lost? He should have been furious. But then he remembered the cheesecake, the constant care, the arm that had been injured protecting him. And he couldn't summon the anger. Most importantly, Caleb was the president of his fan club. The amount of money he must have spent. Caleb returned and sat beside him. Noticing Ethan's grim expression, he reached out to feel his forehead, asking if he was unwell. Ethan flinched away from his touch, unable to meet his eyes. Caleb, he said, his voice low and serious. After filming ends tonight, come to my room. I need to talk to you. Caleb's hand froze in midair. His expression became somber. Okay. That night, Ethan waited. At 11, a soft knock came at his door. He pulled Caleb inside, leaving only a small bedside lamp on. He pushed Caleb against the wall. Even though Caleb was taller, Ethan was determined to have the upper hand. He held up his phone, displaying the chat log with Alex. Explain this. Caleb glanced at the screen and sighed. You found out. I was going to tell you when we met tomorrow. He knew that Alex's arrival was meant to be the moment of truth. So for 2 years, Caleb had been the one consistently outdoing him while also being the one to comfort him afterward. You're quite the actor, Caleb, Ethan said, his voice thick with a sudden, overwhelming sense of betrayal and hurt. Tears welled in his eyes. He asked if it was just another one of his mother's plans to manage his feelings. No, Ethan. It wasn't. Don't call me that. Ethan snapped, his attempt at a calm confrontation dissolving into raw emotion. In a swift motion, their positions were reversed. Caleb pinned him against the wall, and before Ethan could react, Caleb's lips were on his. The initial shock silenced his tirade, and a wave of heat washed over him, turning his thoughts to mush. When Caleb pulled away, his eyes were locked on Ethan's. Are you calm now? He asked softly. Ethan nodded dumbly. Good, Caleb said, his voice earnest. Let me explain. It was all me. No one else was involved. The reason is because I'm in love with you. His gaze was so intense, it felt like it could see into Ethan's soul. At first, I just wanted to comfort you without damaging your pride. But slowly, it wasn't enough. I knew I couldn't approach you as Caleb. But I was also afraid that if you fell for Alex, what would happen to me? I couldn't hide it from you forever. His voice was laced with regret. I know you probably just see me as a rival, but I couldn't help falling for you. The determined you, the vulnerable you when you fail, the you that loves strawberry cheesecake. His thumb gently caressed Ethan's lips. I'm sorry for deceiving you. You must hate me now. I'll stay away from you from now on. The tremor in his voice as he said the last words was unmistakable. He let go of Ethan, took a step back and turned to leave. It was then that Ethan's mind cleared. He grabbed the corner of Caleb's shirt, looking him directly in the eye for the first time that night. Wait, who said I hate you? Caleb turned back, his expression one of pure astonishment. Ethan's face flushed. He finally understood. When Caleb said he would leave him alone, his own heart had clenched in pain. He remembered the fear in the pit, the impossibility of imagining a future without Caleb. Even the discovery of the deception, upon hearing it was motivated by love, had brought a secret, thrilling flutter of happiness. He had been in love with Caleb all along and had simply refused to see it. "I am a little angry," Ethan admitted, "unless you buy me a lot of strawberry cheesecake." The next second, he was pulled into a familiar, strong embrace. "I'll buy you all of it," Caleb murmured into his hair. "Anything you want." They touched foreheads and then they both started to laugh. Caleb did not return to his own room that night. They lay in Ethan's bed, face to face, the feeling surreal like a dream. As their breaths mingled and their fingers intertwined, Caleb's voice was a mesmerizing whisper. "I've waited so long for this day." The next morning, when the crew knocked on Caleb's door and got no answer, they moved on to Ethan's. The door was opened by Caleb, shirtless, his back covered in fresh scratches. The director stared, momentarily speechless, before asking the question on everyone's mind. "What happened to your back?" Caleb had the grace to look embarrassed. "He's shy," he explained with a slight blush. "But I insisted on seeing what was under his shirt." A stunned silence fell over the crew, followed by an explosion of activity in the live chat. Their first shipped couple had become real. It was the biggest news of the season. They didn't hide their new relationship. On what was supposed to be the friends and family segment, Caleb's invited guest was Ethan. And the event turned into a public declaration of their love, where they shared their long, complicated story with the world. The other guests offered their heartfelt congratulations. That evening, instead of returning to the villa, they walked hand in hand along the beach. "I still can't believe we're together," Ethan said. Caleb squeezed his hand. "Feels like a dream." Ethan stopped and turned to face him. "Just because we're together, don't think I'll go easy on you. I'm still going to beat you one day." Caleb smiled and pulled him into a hug. He said, his voice soft against Ethan's ear. "When it comes to love, I already lost to you, completely and utterly." Ethan paused, then hugged him back tightly. The moonlight shimmered on the ocean waves, and in the quiet beauty of the night, he knew he had finally won the only competition that had ever truly mattered.